there are so many interesting, horrifying, or downright weird things in this big world of ours.
Each week, we'll bring you a new true crime story that has little to no coverage in English.
Let us do the translations, so you don't have to. And we always ask, how do we start these things again?
Yes,
So that is our start.
that is our
Yes.
start. We don't know
Yes.
how to start these. This is the news tangent. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. We are going tangent about news. I don't even
Yes.
know what tangent means. Like, is it a verb? No.
Well,
But can you tangent, like to tangent?
I'm going on a tangent. No. Like, tangent is... No, it's not. Oh, fuck. Tangential? Tangent?
I think you can use it that way. Sure. Why not?
I'm tangenting.
It sounds weird to me.
Yes, but if we say it enough times, then it's not going to be weird after a while.
Tangenting, tangenting, tangenting.
It becomes the truth if you repeat it enough.
It is a noun and an adjective, and yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Okay. Right, sounds good. So we're tangenting, to tangent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So we have 3 stories, and mine is not happy,
What about
but
yours?
it's
Petra?
important.
Well, I wouldn't call it happy, but there is something like it's a... Wait a minute, what's the word? Relief. Yes. It's a relief in a way.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to start with my depressive one then?
Yeah, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some positive parts there as well, but yeah. So I have some notes prepared for you. This is a really recent case from Hungary that was in the news quite a lot. So what happened is that on the 29th of January this year, a 43-year-old Japanese woman died in a house fire in Budapest.
Okay.
And the initial investigation of the police did not identify any evidence of foul play in the circumstances of the fire. They were actually saying that, oh, she was just smoking in her bed and that caused the fire. But then apparently she was not even smoking at all. So
What? So like not even a smoker? You mean
she
in
was not a
general, or-
smoker. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, fucking
That would be a random thing to suddenly start in your
yeah,
bed.
in
Yeah.
bed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So after the police was just saying that, well, this was an accident, nothing to see here, then there's this association, Patent Egyesület, Patent Association. I think they are for, I should have checked this, women's rights, kind of they are dealing with like domestic violence type cases. They issued a statement saying that they had been in contact with this victim for a year and a half, and that that she had actually filed several complaints against her ex-husband for abusing her, but the police did not really follow up on these complaints. She was also a mother of 2, by the way. She had 2 kids.
So
the
she
police-
was living in Hungary.
Yes,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Budapest.
Okay.
Yes.
And so did the kids live with her or the ex?
Yes, but I think they were not in the apartment at the time.
Sketchy also. Okay.
So the police initially said that it's an accident, but then later, after some public pressure and that this was in the news quite actively, they said that they found some CCTV footage that turned the investigation around, and that and then after that, the ex-husband was detained as a suspect, and he was arrested. So apparently she first contacted this patent association in 2023 to seek legal representation in a dispute over, they were arguing with her ex-husband about kind of which school their kids should go to, or he didn't want to allow them to go to the same school or something, just kind of wanting to make her life difficult. And at the time, she and her husband, who was an Irish national, were recently divorced. And they agreed to joint custody of their 2 children and alternating on a weekly basis. But then a month later, the ex-husband moved abroad. So this kind of made the arrangement impossible. And he was also not paying child support. Yeah, but this
Sounds
is
like a real winner. Okay.
yeah, and this is actually not when the problem started. So already in 2022, so during COVID, when they were still married, there was this incident that they were planning to travel home to Japan with the children, but in the last minute, the husband prevented this and kept the boy with him, and only the mom was allowed to travel with their daughter. I don't know what happened exactly, but basically they couldn't travel as initially planned. And then after this, the man was like, he initiated proceedings against the mother, claiming that she had unlawfully took the other child. And also he was telling other people, the kind of friends and people who knew them, that the mom just left, which was actually not true. So there were a lot of these kind of things. Also, this woman told before to her friends and the patent staff or the staff of this association about previous incidents, which included some physical abuse. On one occasion, he was strangling her with such a force that she feared for her life. And then initially, she did not want to press charges against him because she was just scared that this would anger the ex-husband even more. And also, I think she was worried about kind of the language barrier or how the police investigation would go.
Yeah. Could the husband, I wonder, speak Hungarian or
I don't
was
think
it?
so. No, I don't
Okay.
think so. But
Little
I'm actually
random-
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random place to live.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
just thinking,
Yeah,
like, if he was
relationship
Hungarian, then I could definitely see, like, there would be a kind of disparity between her and the husband if he was Hungarian or
Yeah.
able to speak Hungarian for sure. But
And then he also moved abroad at some point during the years. But then he was just kind of, it sounds like he really wanted to make her life miserable in every way possible. So she just wanted to focus on getting divorced as quickly as possible and not file a complaint to the police. But then that didn't help. So last year, so in 2024, she actually did go to the police on 2 different occasions. One time, the ex-husband stole her laptop and did something on her laptop, so she filed a complaint because of this. And then another time, she got a concrete death threat from the ex-husband via email. So she also reported this to the police, and they just kind of refused the complaint and took no action.
What the
Basically,
fuck?
nothing happened.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. Also, last March, she reported this whole thing to CPS, so Child Protective Services, as well in Hungary, and she submitted a request to be allowed to move to Japan with the children. So that was already last March. But then it was just like the whole case was going super slowly. They were just kind of delaying everything, so nothing was really happening. Yeah, so then we got to this point this year that the ex-husband allegedly, but this based on CCTV footage, it seems like this is what happened, that he just murdered her and
Like
set
by
the
burning the
apartment on
house.
fire. Yes.
Yeah. Apartment.
I think it was an apartment, yes.
That's
So also putting other people at risk. I wonder if that'll play into his conviction or whatever, like that he's also attempted murder on more than just one person. I would assume, right?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is really like a very recent case, so this just happened at the end of January. But yeah, so this kind of highlights a lot of issues with the system in Hungary. Like, women are usually at the bottom of the list of priorities for the police, and especially when the person that they're accusing is their ex-partner or ex-husband. So domestic violence is not only in Finland but also in Hungary. It's not handled very well in many cases.
Yeah, it was worse during the pandemic as well. I mean, everybody heard the reports that the domestic violence and whatnot, because you were trapped with your abuser, you
Yeah.
know, during
Yeah.
those years.
Yeah, and I think for foreigners it's even harder because of the language issues.
Yeah.
So
Fucking hell.
there was a
but
lot
it
of
just
public
feels so
outrage.
unfair that the husband just moves abroad. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. And then she would need to get a permission to move to
Yeah.
her home country with
Yeah,
the children.
That's bullshit.
Especially
Yeah,
when the
that's-
husband is not even Hungarian. Like, why should she need a permission to leave Hungary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Or yeah, I don't really know what was the. Maybe it's about some. Maybe it's something about what was in the agreement of. Like the custody
probably
agreement.
it is. Yeah,
But then
yeah.
he didn't. He didn't actually take care of the children or paid any child support or anything. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just.
I just. Yeah.
I think it's
wish she would have
because-
just. Yeah, I just wish she
Yeah.
would have, like, not trying to victim blame, obviously, but I'm just like, I wish she would have just been looking out for herself, like, more and just taken the children and then just dealt with the consequences later, you know?
Yeah.
But it's so fucking shitty.
The
I
thing is
remember-
that with
sorry.
Japan, you don't like if once she would have gotten in there, she would have been safe because they don't do the hug children something like there is this law that like the other parent can't just take children to their country, but Japan doesn't follow this like international regulation, which of course leads also to the problem of child like parent kidnapping, and then you just can never see your kids.
Yeah.
But here it sounds
have
like it would
worked in
have
her
been
favor.
reasonable that she could have done that. But the
Yeah,
issue is that when you're leaving the country here, they might be suspecting that you're going to do that, that you just disappear in Japan, and then you're kind of out of the reach. So that's
Yeah.
why she probably wanted to have like a proper paper to be able
Yeah.
to leave the airport and so on. But I'm sure that she could have maybe succeeded, just, you know, maybe go to another country or something, I don't know,
Yeah.
depending on how strict the officials of a specific airport are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's
I'm
so
not really
sad,
sure
though.
about like all the details of the case or why she was not able or she didn't kind of dare to move. But it sounds like the system was definitely failing her a lot. I also remember from one of the articles that I read that she reached out to the Japanese embassy as well in Hungary, and
Okay.
they also didn't really do much.
Yeah, it
So she
sounds
was
like
kind
she
of
wanted
trying.
to do things like really properly,
By the book. Yeah.
that she doesn't at least get any legal consequences.
Yeah.
But it sounds very unfair that
Yeah.
this was her fate.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of public outrage and some protests, and maybe the good thing is that after all this, or in response to all of this, the Hungarian police issued a formal apology for their inadequate communication and the handling of the case, and they have initiated internal reviews to improve their response to domestic violence incidents.
Too little, too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice PR move on your part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuckers.
and apparently a woman dies every week in Hungary as a result of domestic violence.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. And yeah, also just to say, in the meantime, I checked the website of the Patent Association just to make sure that what I said was correct. But yes, so they are women's rights defenders, lawyers, and psychologists who are working there.
Why
And,
couldn't they have helped her more? Like a year and a half that she was seeking help from them, and you'd think that they would have some type of leeway, or, you know, like some way to force things along, especially if it was such a dangerous thing. And you
It
know,
seemed like they were the only ones who actually took her case seriously and tried to
Yeah.
lead her to the correct places where to file complaints or where to report
Yeah.
things, but still,
with the
Yeah.
cops, just ends. Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's really depressing.
Yeah, I know. So
Well,
And now the children, I wonder where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Because then,
You would think like that, I don't know, if their grandparents in Japan, if they are,
I would think they would go. Yeah.
You would think that because it was their mother, that the like Japanese would be one of their fluent languages. It would make sense for them to.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, if they have been raised in Hungary, I don't know.
Yeah, and what also, like, would you want your children... I wonder how this goes in general, you know, with a lot of these cases. Because, like, is it that the parent who does the murdering, that the children wouldn't go to their parents, you know, like the dad's parents? That would just be weird, in my opinion, because then I wouldn't want to be around my it depends on the situation, of course.
It can be that they are very good grandparents.
It does say in this article that I was I mostly took this information from that I just told you, that after the ex-husband moved abroad, the man's parents provided the woman and the 2 children with an apartment in Budapest. So it. I don't know more, but it sounds like they tried to help.
Yeah, but it might also be just like, not that they are the warm, caring grandparents, but more like that they feel really bad for their son being a dick. So they're like, well, we have money, we can buy
you. Just throw money at the problem.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad people or anything, but maybe that's like, okay, we can't really do much. Maybe if they're living in Ireland or something. But maybe they're like, okay, well, we can buy an apartment at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, there's of course a lot of details that we don't know about this case because it's just so recent.
Of course.
Because I thought that this could be also maybe good as a full episode, but maybe later if we find out some more after the trial or something, we could bring this back. But I think this is like very recent, and I thought this was important to discuss because we already talked about a lot of domestic violence related cases in Finland as well, and so it's not better in Hungary either.
I don't think any country has it good.
It's just like how it compares to other crime, the places where it's not standing up that much. It's probably because the other crime is even more, like there's so much other crime that the domestic violence is not really standing out in the stats.
Yeah, or it's ignored even more, so you just don't see it in the stats.
Yeah. All depends.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Well, I mean, I think we want to leave Laura's last, if it was a happier one. And also, this is in my story, there is also a woman killed. So we can continue with the... But this is not domestic violence. This is just
violence.
Regular violence.
Not very regular. Like this is very horrible too. I saw this in the news. It was actually last week, and I thought that this could be a case to bring as a proper story. But then I was just like, no, I don't want to. I don't like I don't usually like the murderers, but I mean, it just made me feel bad. So this is a case from 2011. It was quite a big news back then. An 18-year-old Jenna Lepomäki from Finland was invited to Spain by a Finnish man, and the man would pay the flights there. So she was like, cool, sure. But then a man and his friend apparently they had just said that come to have a holiday. I don't know. Like when you're 18, you are probably like, yeah, sounds fun. Sure, if you are paying. But then when she arrived, they asked her to be like a drug mule, like to carry some drugs for them. And then she's like, no. Seems like a normal reaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were asking her to carry cocaine to Finland. Because, well, I can, usually women get less suspicion on those things and whatever the reason was. And also because she was just a random person. She doesn't have any history. But anyway, she was like, no, and called the police in Spain. And police would then talk with the men, but there was no actual reason to arrest them. And at this point, I am not sure why, but she didn't have money because they had bought the tickets, and for some reason she didn't have passport. She had left this to the house, which I don't know why. And they were also like, yeah, you can just come back. But when she came back, they killed her.
What the fuck? So once again, police misjudged the situation and failed. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it's hard, obviously, because the police, by nature, is reactive. So when there's no crime, I don't know what they can do. But then it's just the system shouldn't be like this.
Yeah, but then as a police officer, I would have gone with her to retrieve her stuff. Hey, you're going back to the place where you accused these men of drug smuggling. Even though we didn't arrest them, they're still going to be pissed at you because, of course, you're shedding some light on some operation, that they have. So, yeah, I would have gone back with her. Okay, well, let's grab your stuff. Let's put you someplace safe or whatever. Or let's send you home, or the embassy or something should take care of this or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But then it was pretty obvious after that it was these men who killed her. Or how was she found? What happened after that?
But the thing is that then she had just disappeared. And I mean, probably in Finland, maybe she had said that she's going for a holiday to Spain. So for a while, no one is wondering where she is. But, well, as said, I didn't take this as a proper story, so I didn't check up all the details. But apparently a bit later, so this was in the summer. So later in the autumn, they were actually investigating these guys for drug crimes. Surprise, surprise, that they had been caught. Probably they tried to carry the cocaine themselves. I don't know. And somehow there they were able to connect this missing Jenna to them. And then they would cooperate with the Spanish police, and they would do they went to search for the house, and they found her body hidden under a tree.
Okay, yeah.
So it was just nobody knew that she was murdered, but probably at this point, people in Finland were like, she's not coming back from the Spain. Something is weird. They had filed her.
Wouldn't you think that after some point, some time passes, and then people start wondering where she is in Finland, right?
Yeah.
So then they go to the police. Then wouldn't the Finnish police go to the Spanish police and say that, have you heard anything about this woman? And then they are like, well, she actually came in and reported these guys.
Exactly.
So then that gives you some hints.
Well, I mean, I guess that's why they, when the Finnish police contacted them, they were like, yeah, we're going to check the house.
Yeah, it just took a while. But I mean, maybe it's not such a long time.
Yeah, because we don't know, what she had said to her friends and family in Finland, and, what was the time point when they started to get worried and so on. But anyway, because they were Finnish, proceedings were then in Finland, and the guy who actually murdered her got 12 years, and the other guy got 6 years.
That's so short.
And
What? 12 years for...
Murdering
But
somebody.
it's...
and also their like other family, like mother and what is not real father?
Stepfather.
Stepfather got some kind of like drug related.
So it was like a
So
family
the
business
drug,
then?
yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Her father or mother and stepfather?
His
Or the
parents.
guys?
The
parents.
guys,
Ah.
yeah. And this was apparently quite a big news because he was first timer in jail. So he was there just a couple of years, and he was also under 21 when he went to jail. So he got out just after a couple of years. Although,
What?
like based on in the news, it says that even in the jail he did things like throwing hot oil to other prisoners. Like
What the
and
fuck? So he's not rehabilitated if that's the purpose of going to jail, especially
Yep.
in Finland. Like, what the fuck?
And then after he got out, he would do lots of crimes, and it was lots in the news. Like, now he did this crime again. Now he did this crime again.
Wow.
At some point, he changed his name. So then the media kind of stopped following his crimes, which is a bit lazy because I'm sure you can just check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But finally, he died last week.
Ah, okay. I was.
And
I
this was the
wondering
news.
What is the news?
So
Rest
he
in
was
pieces,
he was
motherfucker.
32,
Jesus.
called Joona Hasselquist
Wow.
as of his time of death. I think that was the name he had. No,
Was he trying
that
to be
his
Swedish?
original name. No. Yeah, he had changed his names to Christian Jonathan Harjanko, but his original name was
Joona something.
Joona Hasselquist. But it also says also Paukku before. I don't even know which
Okay,
order this.
okay.
Anyway, like
Oh,
changing names.
So okay.
The real-
I
so
don't
the-
know what to say.
The happy part here is that he died.
He's dead.
Because he was
He's
apparently doing lots of crimes again and again. So at least him dying means that no one needs to be his victim from this on.
But he was let
Yeah.
out after just a few years, and he
Yeah.
murdered someone.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, I feel that every time I take a case from Finland, we just all get irritated of the system of
It just feels like you can just murder someone and then
Yeah.
no big
Yeah.
deal.
free.
If you want a vacation, you know, like, and you have your board and room and food and everything paid for, and you have a PlayStation and a TV and a nice place to sleep, then
Yeah.
you should commit a murder in Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
And I mean, I'm not even trying to say that, yeah, more punishments, punish the people, but rehabilitate,
guy-
like do something. You
Yes.
can't be just like, well, it was a first timer and he was young. Like, even
but
that's even a
what-
better reason why you actually
Yeah.
need to show them that this is not how you live in the
I
society.
mean, I
and-
can imagine
Yeah.
that there would be cases when that's like a better excuse somehow, or that like they were young, or it wasn't like premeditated or whatever. But like, I'm sure there are cases when this is fine. But overall, like this one is not one of those cases.
No,
Yeah.
it seems like it seems that Finland has a really big problem with this because there's this other case in Valkeakoski that I think we all know of.
Yeah.
And the offender, so he was like, I think 18 or 19 or something at the time of his first crime, where he attacked a woman and beat her and basically tried to rob her. And then he went to like detention for that, whatever. And then he ends up murdering a girl, a 15-year-old girl or 16-year-old girl in Valkeakoski. So, and that was only a few years later. Obviously, he's not not better. They haven't, rehabilitated him. And now he murdered someone. It just escalated. So what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
And same thing with your story. Okay, they, have a bunch of crimes. They murder someone. They only get a few years. He throws hot oil at prisoners and stuff. He's obviously not rehabilitated. And then
it's almost like they're not taking the other details into account.
No.
They're just like, well, he was young, first-time offender, so I guess we let him out.
Yeah, it sounds like that these are the framework you can only work within. Like, we just have to cut the detention time. That's it.
Yeah, but this is also the thing that I criticize Finland for quite often. It's that they read the book too closely and they never take any type of script, like off-script, how do you say, like, I'm lacking words today. My brain is fucked or something, but just they don't ever go off script. They just read the rules. Okay, it says this, we're supposed to do this, we're sticking with this, even though it shouldn't fit this situation. They just never take anything seriously or just think for themselves in these situations where they should. Which pisses me off. I hate
I mean, it does, like, the overall thing of reading the script too strictly. I think this is a very Finnish thing, and it does give you kind of like that you can trust that someone is not making your decision just because of your face. Like, kind of, it also ensures some amount of fairness in the society, that things are just decided by the script. But this is the dark side of it.
But I agree, but I think sometimes, like, does it have to be part of the, like, I'm sure, I don't know what's in the law, but like, sure, that the person, if a person is younger, first-time offender, that should be taken into account. I'm sure it's in there. But then there are probably also other things that, but if they are a repeat offender or have other things, then maybe don't do that, right? Like, I'm sure this has to be in the law. Yeah. So it's almost like they just read the first part.
I mean, of course, there was the whole court proceedings and what they actually got, and all this. The issue here is that, like, something like he didn't get the life in prison sentence. He got 12 years. Because I think if you get a life in prison sentence, then it's not cut. And that's what he originally maybe got, but then it got downgraded. And all this, like, I guess this could have been an interesting, like, actual case with all this, but like, reading about this court already got me so pissed off. I'm like, no, I don't want to read about this more deep.
Yeah.
It's so unfair.
Yeah, I feel for this woman who, tried to do the right thing, didn't want to smuggle drugs, and then this fucker gets off and gets to live a life after that, living a nefarious, crime-filled life that he shouldn't have been able to live, And
like from the start, they invited her there to make her do this, to smuggle the drugs, to kind of exploit her in some way. So it was not like they started off great and then it just went wrong. It was bad the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, so how did he die?
Yeah,
just by a sickness, it said.
Fuck. I want it to be worse.
Overdose.
Something. I wanted it to be painful at least.
But hopefully. I don't know. Maybe it was a painful sickness.
Oh.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Okay.
If there is a hell,
the relief here is the safety of the society. That he won't do.
But that's the whole.
Anything
but
like
that's the whole thing with going to jail or going to prison. That's supposed to keep you safe, because then you're supposed to be rehabilitated so you can go back to the streets and be safe for society.
Yeah.
So what the fucking point? What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I sometimes keep thinking about that serial eater guy still. Who murdered his mom or something. And went to prison and was let out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he's pathological at this point. There's
But
some
then the
people you
crimes
just
he's
can't...
doing are eating in a restaurant without
But the thing
pay.
is, like, there's something
For
wrong
now.
mentally with him.
Yeah.
I would assume that there's something mentally wrong with the guy, and he can't be rehabilitated either. He has to do something, and maybe if he couldn't do these serial eating not scams, but they're like, he goes and eats and doesn't pay, basically.
But that sounded like it's kind of this like funny thing. But then no, but he's actually
it's
like arguing
serious.
with people or threatening
Yeah.
people. It's not like
Yes.
it's not this
So-
fun
Yeah.
thing.
And that's, I'm guessing, I'm assuming here that that's probably the way that he kind of gets a release for his inner, demons or whatever, his inner turmoil or something like that. So then what if he doesn't get to do that? Does he then go off the deep end and do something a bit more serious? Does he escalate the situation? Because
Maybe.
this is such a weird thing that he does, that he gets his rocks off kind of on it. So then I would just be he's not safe. I
and
would
he did
assume.
more serious things before, so we have a
Yes.
reason to think this.
Yes.
Well, I guess
so-
we'll find out eventually what happens.
But that's the whole question. Like, of course, we have these actual, can you call them asylums? But anyway, this like mental institution for the criminally insane. I don't know if I'm taking just
Yeah.
words from the Batman or actually.
I think the Arkham Asylum. Yeah, I don't think that's.
But
like,
anyway, like,
technically
people
politically
who
correct, but yeah.
are for like might be psychopaths and like kind of that you can't. They do very serious crime for like kill people basically, murder people, and it has deemed that they have such a mental illness that they cannot be rehabilitated. But even they are they're in a hospital, and of course the doctor has to, follow it up. And as long as their illness kind of continues, they are there. So that's
Yeah.
the longest thing you can usually have in Finland, that you are just...
That's where I would put the Sarja Syömäri.
But the thing is
one
that
of
it's
these-
super expensive for the society to put people in that kind of institutions. So what is the risk that we are willing to take, to
But like,
not
is
put
it more
everyone there?
expensive than letting them out and letting them reoffend all the time?
Or
Yeah,
even
that's the
putting them
question.
in prison. Like, how does it compare to having a jail sentence, a prison sentence for 25 years or 20 years versus the mental institution or whatever? So I can't think that it's that much more expensive, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to put people to jail either because it's expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, in these cases, I think for society, we should just take one for the team. I wouldn't mind paying like a % more in my taxes so these people aren't on the streets.
I'm sure you could add up the other expenses, like in the other scenario, like the people that are harmed, all the expenses that causes.
Yes.
They're out of the workforce. They have to go to
Yeah.
therapy. I don't know, like
Yeah,
all
their
of that
families
stuff.
are
Yeah.
messed up because of that. Like it has a ripple effect. A lot of people are then, affected by this. So
Yeah.
it's not just the one single person who's affected in the crime itself, but all those people that are related to them too.
yeah, of course.
So, ugh.
Just like 12 years for murdering someone and then being let out after a few years. It's like, if you think back what happened to you 12 years ago, it doesn't feel like it was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Great. So hopefully you have something happier, Laura.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. So remember the story. I forget. I should have checked our episode list. But remember when you covered the scam factories, Victoria?
Yes.
Yes. So for the people who haven't listened or whatever, or maybe have listened but just don't remember, there's these scam factories in places like Myanmar, Thailand, and, just around the world, basically. And there's billions and billions of dollars that are gathered from these companies, or these, like, scam factories, quote unquote. And so recently, as of February, I think the beginning of February, there were 250 people from 20 different nationalities who had been working in telecom fraud centers in Myanmar. And they were just released, or like they got released, or they got kind of saved or whatever from this detention center, or like this, not detention center, but from the scam center. And yeah, so they were handed over, and because like Myanmar is a bit of a lawless place at this point because there's all these different factions and the government doesn't control the whole country, and it's just like there's these guerrilla type war, groups and stuff around, and then so it's quite a difficult country to track somebody when someone goes missing there, etc. And so of the rescued workers, there were 138 from Ethiopia, 23 from Kenya, 16 from Philippines, 15 from Malaysia, 12 from Pakistan, and 10 from China, Indonesia, 8, and go on, like so on and so forth. But so that's kind of a good thing that they were rescued.
Yeah.
But
And
there's
they're
like
usually
thousands.
lured there with some sort of a job offer.
Yes.
Like a
yes.
different type of job offer, obviously.
Yeah. So then I started listening to this podcast, actually. It's called Scam Factory, so aptly named podcast.
Do I know
And,
this? I feel like I do.
there were some advertisements for it, Wondery advertisements for it, and I just literally started listening to it today because I knew I would cover this topic on the episode, and I think I'm on episode 3 or something. But yeah, they usually get lured by a different job. It followed some people from the Philippines, and basically this guy comes, and like, hey, yeah, so you can work for us. You're going to be working for an online gambling company, and you'll get $1,000 per month, basically, which is quite a lot of money because at the time, this one guy that they're following in the podcast was only making like $250 by kind of using a taxi service, or like providing a taxi service for people. So 1,000 is quite a big amount of money to him. And his older sister was like, well, I'm going to check this out, and like, I don't trust this, etc. So she went, and they actually flew her to Thailand to check out the factory. And she's like, oh, actually everything looks good and stuff. So yeah, go ahead, brother. You can go for it. Go to the, like it seems legit. Well, he gets there, and then they transport him by him and another, I think, woman from the Philippines to like 8 hours away. And they get on a boat even, and they cross a river. And then it turns out, oh shit, we're in Myanmar, not in Thailand anymore. And so he goes to this center, and then there's like a small little mini city, basically, in Myanmar. So there's, shops and stuff, and then there's like the apartment buildings and whatnot. And so it's kind of this self-contained city where they put people so then they can live there, and they only get $300. At least they're getting some money, but $300 instead of the $1,000. And they can't leave because it's protected by people with guns. And you have a contract, so you need to fulfill the contract. And it's like you need to scam people out of money, and you need to fill like a quota. And if you don't fill the quota, then you're beaten, or you're not fed food, or you're just basically you get the shit beat out of you eventually if you fuck up enough.
Basically,
Wow.
you're
So-
like kidnapped to be a
Yes, you're
slave.
kidnapped. Yes, exactly. And then the guy who got kidnapped, he was like, well, he was allowed to keep his phone, but then they would check your phones every day to make sure that you're not saying anything bad about the center. And he would just, call his sister or text his sister, and it's like, yeah, this isn't how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm working at this weird, like, I have to scam people. And then he'd just delete the messages right away, so then they weren't able to read them. And they're under constant surveillance and whatnot. So this is just like one person's story.
So how
about
did
this
he
in
get
this
out?
podcast. I'm still listening to the
Okay.
podcast. But then the scam was like the guy that met up with them and, offered them the job in the Philippines. The sister was like, hey, like ended up calling him, this isn't what you promised my brother. And he's like, well, you can pay $4,000 and then I'll get him set free. And of course, 4,000 is a fuck ton of money that she doesn't have. And so he's like, but you can work for me and we'll get your brother out in 6 months. And so she ended up having to join him because now, like, if she makes him angry, then I don't know what can happen to the brother. Maybe they shoot him, maybe they kill him, who knows what happens. So she had to play along with it, and she is now like in the scamming game, basically trying to book flights and quote unquote vacations for people so they can be abducted to go to these scam centers. Yeah, so that's where I'm at in the podcast.
Wow.
But
I need to listen to this. Oh my God.
yeah. Yeah. So, but it's good that some people are now getting set free, and now Thailand is cracking down on the whole thing because Thailand was apparently supplying electricity and other type of resources to Myanmar. So they're cutting off the electricity to go over that goes over to these work centers. So they're kind of cracking down because Thailand's tired of them being like the intermittent country, the transfer country. So they're like, well, you guys can't use us for, transfer country anymore, so fuck off. So that's kind of...
And there's not many
good.
direct flights to Myanmar.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to get different visa, like rules and restrictions for visas and these types of things to crack down and
Not to
limit
be
the
used
amount of
for
people.
slavery.
Basically, yeah. So that was
Wow.
my story at least, but yay, some people got set free at least.
I mean, it's definitely good that some people did get set free, and also that there's a little bit more recognition of this issue nowadays. Because I don't
Yeah.
remember the numbers that I was saying when I talked about it in that previous episode, but it's like hundreds of thousands, or like the magnitude of this is crazy. How
Yeah.
many people are actually kidnapped and forced to work in these scam factories.
Yeah.
You would
yeah.
think that they don't need those anymore. They could just use an AI.
Well, maybe that's coming. I don't know. It's not
'Cause
maybe
actu-
as good yet.
Yeah, the scam though was interesting. They explained the scam during the podcast as well, that they call it like pig butchering. So you kind of fatten up the person before you actually, give the final blow. And so they basically, their job at the scam center was to call someone, let's say in UK or wherever in the world, because each person has different language skills. So Philippines, of course, they speak English there. And so other people from around the world, of course, have different language skills. But the Philippines, they were targeting people in UK. And so the people in UK would get a random phone call, and the call center would be like, oh, yeah, so we got your number, or, do you want a job, basically? And people in the UK would be like, oh, sure, I guess. But how did you get my number? And they're like, oh, we got it from the recruitment center, blankety blank, whatever. They sent over a recommendation that you'd be good for this job or whatever. And then the people are like, okay, sure. So what's the job? And then the scam center would be like, well, you're going to be reviewing hotels. And so for each hotel that you review, you get kind of points or like a money scale system. Like for each hotel, you get $50, let's say. And so then the more you review, then the more money you get and whatever. So, okay, that sounds fair, etc. Like, it sounds a bit shady
Why
still,
would
but
anyone
legit.
headhunt for a job like that?
Yeah. But, some people are desperate for money, and,
Yeah.
of course, this, this is great, I can work from home and do this, I don't have to need any special skills for this, I can just,
It sounds
use
like
my...
kind of nice job if you were a student or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Do it at nights or
But
whatever.
it's just suspicious that you get the phone call. Like if I saw
Yeah.
this in a job ad, website, I would be like, okay, yeah, might be legit.
Yeah. So then basically then they start doing the work and they start getting these reviews, and then you have like, oh, the money total is going up, and then suddenly it just drops down to zero, a negative amount of money. And then the next step is for the person who is doing the reviews for the hotels is like, hey, what the hell happened to my money? Now I'm like negative $125 or whatever. And then they call the scam center again, and then the scam center person goes, well, so this is how it works, actually, that you have to spend that money in order to get your kind of cash out, like from the money that you've basically been accruing this whole time by writing reviews. Then you need to kind of cash out in order to like get your money back in this way. And then you also get a referral bonus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who
then
came up with
then,
this complex idea?
but then it's like you're building trust between the people. So then the person's like, but I don't have that much money, so will I really get my money back? Is this true? And they're like, yes, you'll totally get your money back plus more money, etc. So then they're like, well, if you're sure about this, and then they do the money, they give the money 125 or whatever. And then indeed they do get their money back that first time. Maybe it happens a second time, but then the amount gets bigger and bigger each time, and then they get their money back again and again. So then they're building up trust with the person, And then they go in for the final kill. So they, you know, fatten up the pot basically until it's such a large amount that either the person can't pay. So they're like, oh, I only have $500 in my bank account and the reservation is $1,000. Oh, it's okay. I'll spot you the money. So you just put in what you want and then I'll spot you the money for the rest of it. And then you'll still get the referral. And then this still builds the trust between the scam center and the person doing this, being scammed basically. So, and then if they finally, you know, end up getting all the money that they possibly can out of this person, and that's usually when they. Yeah.
It just sounds like so much effort.
Yeah.
but I
Like
think
this
that's-
is super complex to be just this random scam.
Yeah. But that's what I think why they can't do it with AI. So that was my long explanation of
okay.
why they can't do
Yeah.
it with AI, because I think it takes actually person skills, like very good like emotional skills too, because I mean, of course these people don't want to be scamming, but they know how to get the money out of the people by pulling on their heartstrings or like kind of, you know, getting them more comfortable. And I don't think AI systems are that good at doing this kind
Yeah,
of emotional.
totally.
Maybe
Not, of course.
not yet, at least.
Yeah, but
But
so
there
this
is
is not
also
a,
some crazy stuff going on with AI, like these voice clones that like you get a phone
Yes,
call
yes.
and then your mom or
Yeah.
someone on your mom's voice is telling you that I got into an accident or I don't know, something like
yes,
that.
yeah. I mean, we're going to be fucked because our voices have been recorded a bunch, so and in the public domain. But yeah, so that was kind of the story that I had, and I'm just hoping that, I mean, this isn't the only country that's doing this. So Myanmar is now in the news, of course, because people have been rescued, but there's also other Asian countries and African countries that are doing this too, with different language focus and stuff. And I guess a lot of the people that were higher up in the management, or like higher up on the rung of this scam system, a lot of them were Chinese even. So it's possibly the Chinese mafia or something doing this type of stuff, or so yeah.
Great. I mean, this was not
yeah.
such a happy story. I mean, it was
Yeah, I was
kind of
expecting
that was
something
It was
more
happier.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it sounds like there's more people suffering,
Yeah.
not just one individual, but
Yeah.
But at least now people are kind of becoming more aware, I think, of the of the whole situation.
yeah, probably like in the countries that the people get recruited to these centers, maybe they also start to have some kind of warning campaigns, like, hey, don't fall into this trap, don't go. Hopefully they have something like that.
Yeah. You would assume. And like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. There's always going to be people that are desperate for money, and they don't, like, they just take a chance, you know. What if it does work out? And it's kind of sad that it's sad that they take advantage of so many people in these countries, because I don't think anybody would want to work, 17 hours at a call center trying to get money from other people, because it feels dirty. You're scamming other people so you can live. I mean, I just feel bad for the scammed people, and then also for the scammers even. Yeah.
But then there are these people in the higher like management who apparently their job is to come up
Catch
with
them.
ways how to fuck over other people.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
think
so
about
listen
like
to
who's the person who planned this? Are they like, wow, I have such a good idea and
sadistic
I'm going to-
motherfucker.
Yeah. I have a degree in psychology. Now I planned
Yeah.
this scamming.
Yeah. But yeah, listen to the podcast Scam Factory. It's on Spotify, at least and Wondery Plus, of course. If you
I will do that. That's cool. Or not, but it's interesting.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you guys want a animal fact?
Yes, I
course
was
we
planning
want.
to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not really an animal fact. It is an animal fact, but also more linguistic.
Oh.
Ooh. So how do you pluralize octopus?
Octopi?
Octopi.
Wrong.
same
Both
thing?
of you are wrong.
Wait. Let's guess more. I don't know. So,
Octopi.
Octopuses sounds bad. It must not be the correct answer.
Whew, okay. Yes. So there's all Jesus Christ. So yeah, I've been reading to my kid Wikipedia articles because I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not that talkative normally, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna read everything in a nice voice, a baby voice. And one day I was covering octopodes or octopuses. Okay, yeah, your faces are hilarious. So yeah, I learned that in order to pluralize octopus, it is not octopi, which I've been led to believe my whole fucking life that it's been octopi. I think everybody's like, yeah, it's octopi. Like
course.
octopus, octopi, because it's, yeah.
Or
But
octopi,
apparently-
as I would pronounce it.
Yes, yes. But the scientific Latin term octopus was derived from the ancient Greek, so not Latin. So that's why the difference, because it comes from octo, which means 8, of course, and then pus, which is foot, so 8 foot. And so then for itself is a variant of a word used, for example, by Alexander of Tralles from 525 to 605 CE, I guess, for the common octopus. And the standard pluralized form of octopus in English is octopuses. The ancient Greek plural is octopodes. Yeah.
But then,
Or
then it's still the
octopodes,
S-type plural in both of those cases.
Yeah, but octopodes is like the actual like legit Greek. Okay, I'm looking at the IPA right now, but it's octopodes. Yeah, octopodes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I would have never guessed this.
Yeah, and then the alternative plural octopi is usually considered incorrect because it is wrongly assuming that the octopus is a Latin second declension, noun or adjective, when in either Greek or Latin it is the third declension noun. So, for all the linguistics nerds out there, it's not octopi, it's octopuses.
So I was kind of right, but I just made this like horrible joke.
Pussies, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't that the James Bond movie?
Octopussy? Yes, it is.
Oh,
So it's
yes.
just trying to be almost
Funny
the
with that.
plural
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. But there's like a whole like but octopodes is totally pedantic, so it's like kind of like, well, actually it should be this. So don't use that one. Just use octopuses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But there are a few of these things but like that everyone uses wrong. So if you
Yes.
want to try to use it right, you just sound pretentious.
Yes. But octopuses, you just sound fucking kind of stupid too. Like, but then I'm gonna be like, hey, did you? Every single time I have to say this, I'm like, but did you know that that's actually correct? So now everybody can have a little fun fact at a cocktail party. Yeah.
Nice. I was missing these animal facts.
And linguistic facts.
Yeah. 2 in 1. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yes. Thank you.
Great.
Now we can talk about octopuses.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, okay, I have way more animal facts now since I'm reading Wikipedia basically nonstop, but
Do you have a list of them, like a document that you just keep collecting them into?
no, they're all in my head. I
Oh,
have them all
okay.
in my head.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nice.
coming next time, more animal facts. Maybe I need one for every episode and not just the
Yeah, that should
news
be good.
tangents.
There was some interesting animal fact that I found randomly, which I now forgot. But anyway, I might also bring an animal fact if I remember what it was.
Yeah. I beg everybody to bring an animal fact. It's great. Expand your mind into the world in the kingdom Animalia.
Yeah, and we need something more lighthearted after our horrible stories. Not that probably anyone who listens to this is expecting
Light and
fun
fluffy.
and happy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, balance.
Balance. Indeed.
Okay, so next time.
Yeah.
I think we will have an episode from Petra.
Maybe. Or on another news tangent. Who knows?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you did research for one, but you hate the guy who did the murdering, so you changed course at the last minute.
Yeah, and then I researched for the cannibal case, but it was too discussed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in that though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can consider it if I just don't. Yeah, maybe it's everything happening there is interesting. I can just skip the details.
yeah, you don't have to go into the gory stuff.
Yeah.
Too much.
And then it also leaves us to ponder cannibalism and whatnot too. So yeah,
Tattoos
there's
and how they taste.
many tangents, I would assume, in that episode from us.
Yeah. Well, that might be the next one. So be warned.
Be prepared. Don't eat a huge meal
before.
Okay, yeah, got it.
But if I get too disgusted by the story, then I will change.
Okay, sounds good.
I think that's a good cliffhanger.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for this, guys. Thanks for your stories.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to?
We need. Yeah. Okay, you can follow us on Instagram at Translation Murder Podcast, or you can send us an email at translationmurderpodcast@gmail.com. And if you like or follow our podcast on Spotify or wherever you're listening, that would be good too. But what is something they should not send us via email, Petra?
Dick pics.
Yeah, no dick pics.
You can DM them to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just don't send me an email.
Okay, so I'm never going to look at the messages now on Instagram.
Victoria, you asked.
You opened a can of worms. A can of dicks. You opened a can of dicks. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.